Well, the Indian fans might be wondering, thinking, perhaps telling themselves, success delayed is not success denied. It will come. It just took a bit longer than one expected. Everybody thought just two more sessions and India will wrap them up, but it wasn't to be because the openers in the second innings for Bangladesh showed a fair bit of resistance. A debut Test 100 for Zakir Hasan. Now that's the story that he'll remember for a long, long time. India not too far away, just four more wickets, and they will go 1-0 up in this two-match series. Dinesh Karthik is here as well. As always on Cricbuzz Chat, I'm Manish Batavia. DK, credit where it's due. We thought we'll be talking about an India win at tea, but looks like we'll have to come back tomorrow.
Yes, I think they've delayed the inevitable, which is what Test cricket is all about. I think you don't want to give an easy openers put up a fight if they are where they are right now. It's mainly because the fact that Shanto and Zakir Hassan played a terrific knock and made sure the partnership lasted a session, which is very important. That's when you build belief, and that's exactly what happened. And if the day's play has gone on to such an extent where they've just lost 6 wickets, it's you got to give a lot of credit to both the openers coming out there, showing a lot of grit and determination, battling it out. Yes, there was not much help for the bowlers, but you still need to bat with good temperament, and that is exactly what both the openers did today.
People tend to sort of snigger at cliches on commentary, but there's one expression that we've heard since the time we started watching cricket. We've heard experts say application is the key, and how true was that today in the way the openers batted? Just applied themselves and didn't do anything rash.
Yes, I think Zakir Hassan is more old school opener, plays tight, close to his body, waits for the cut and sweep. And for the fast bowler, is more of the cut. Whereas Shanto is slightly more free flowing. He's looking to score runs. You can see why he is part of the white ball formats as well. His hands go slightly away from the body and he likes to drive a ball. So putting both of that into context, I did feel that the openers did a good job in playing out a session with some quality bowlers on display. Umesh, Siraj, Kuldeep, R. Ashwin, and Axar Patel are good bowlers on any given day. And for them to have batted out a whole session, a lot of credit must be given to them.
It's one thing to be able to see an opportunity, to sense an opportunity, and then to be able to deliver on that opportunity. Zakir Hassan grabbed this opportunity with both hands. He sort of earned his ropes with performances in the A team, got a shot and took it as well as anybody could, and showed the other senior mates on how to bat against an attack like this.
Absolutely. I think application, determination, temperament. These are the three words that you used to need to use with Zakir Hassan. I think the same template was followed by him when he played against India A for him to get that 100. And when Tamim got injured, he got the opportunity to come out here and open. This is a good sign for Bangladesh cricket because when Tamim comes back, they have another good batsman now and an opener as well. So that will give them the confidence of them improving their bench strength. We constantly speak about having a good bench strength for you to constantly up your standards of cricket. And you can see Zakir Hassan coming in, doing the hard yards for Bangladesh. He was playing a few practice matches against Tamil Nadu as well. That kind of work that you put in behind the scenes and playing those tough long hours traveling abroad and playing spinners and playing on different wickets always helps you. And obviously Chattogram is a place where he would have played a lot of cricket, so it was good for him to apply. To be fair to the bowlers, there wasn't too much, but it takes a lot of application and determination, and that boy showed a lot of it today.
Now the scorecard will say right test 100, debut 100 in test cricket as well, but it's the manner in which he approached his innings, especially the climax, reaching closer to the 100, that big six over long off to get into the 90s. It takes guts and perhaps shows the mental makeup of this player. He's not the kind of player who'll be weak-willed and say, listen, I'm close to my debut 100, let me go slow, let me just take singles and get to 100. He showed that guts, the gumption, and the preparedness, the attitude to do what it took to show the world that listen, he's not here to just mess around. He is here for big things.
We are getting used to it these days, youngsters coming out there and reaching milestones with big shots and big, in many ways risk taking opportunities is something that is second nature to them. And that's where the name of the game is changing. You've seen cricket evolve over decades, and this decade has proven that batsmen are not averse to taking risks in any format of the game. That is the most recent fad going on in cricket. We have seen many teams do it, Bangladesh following suit, the youngsters obviously taking on those big shots in those big moments, and that's good to watch.
Right, and it was a 124-run partnership between Shanto and Zakir Hasan. And at the start of the 47th over, Umesh Yadav said, "Listen, I've really persevered. I've been disciplined," and he got the reward for it. What a terrific spell of pace bowling when things weren't going right, and he just stuck to his task. And as MS Dhoni often says, stick to the process, and the results will follow.
I think, to be fair, he was the best medium pacer in this innings for sure. I think he created opportunities, even with the second new ball, getting Mushfiqur edging to that one to punt. So he's created opportunities, and that's what you expect from fast bowlers. He has been around for a long time now, and again, he will know these conditions well. He's played here before. You have to understand, he's been here from 2010. That's 12 years of international cricket. So he's one of the senior pros there. In many ways, the spirit of the attack, even though he's always been, the bridesmaid and never the bride. But credit to him, I think the way he bowled today showed his character on a dead wicket where there was absolutely no assistance for him to come and bowl a spell of good reverse swing was good to watch and getting. And Shanta would be disappointed because he seems to be getting out in that fashion quite a bit. But Umesh Yadav exploited that weakness and edging, and a terrific catch by Rishabh Pant. I think goes to show that he was aware and his reflexes were on point. But what was key is the awareness. When somebody's taking a slip catch, sometimes you don't turn around to see it, but he went with the ball, and as soon as it popped out, he was ready for it.
Right, but just a little more on Umesh Yadav. On broadcast, they spoke about his record on Asian pitches. 110 wickets in 37 matches, a strike rate of 49.2, better than the likes of Wasim Akram. It's a staggering number, and he seems to remind me of Javagal Srinath from the 90s. He was a bit of a war horse, wasn't he? He was the workhorse rather, and Umesh Yadav seems to be playing in that same mold, even when he's not the number one priority. When he does get an opportunity, he just wants to give it everything he has, especially on these benign pitches.
Yes, his stats are fabulous in Asian conditions or Indian conditions rather, mainly because of his skill to reverse a ball. He generally gets the ball to outswing with the new ball, and when the ball starts reversing, it becomes very venomous because he's somebody who has airspeed. And when you have airspeed, you tend to get the ball to reverse a lot later. Reverse swing happens a lot later than normal swing, and that's where he's got a lot of the wickets. I remember in the previous time Bangladesh toured in the day and night test that they played in Calcutta, he bowled a fiery spell. So he, in many ways, is a solid bowler. He is somebody who, over the years, I think has really honed his skills, and you can see he's been fighting to be part of every format and always throwing his hat in the ring. Even IPL, sometimes he gets ignored, but when he comes, he gives a good performance, a solid guy to have in the team. And his strength over a period of time has been his fitness. You don't see many cricketers start a career, 12 years ago, bowling 150 clicks, 140 clicks, and still be the same after 10, 12 years. And credit to him for that. We haven't had many bowlers over the years who have maintained their pace, but he is one such anomaly who was able to consistently bowl at the same speed that he did when he started out. And that is something that is very credible, and you got to give him a lot of credit for that.
I wonder what his own inner dialogue is because he turned 35 a couple of months ago in October. He's played 52 test matches for India, 158 wickets in all in tests, an average of 30.80. Now, looking at what James Anderson has done at 40, still bowling like an absolute champion. Do these things perhaps alter a player's inner dialogue? And how is he like as a person? And have you had a chance to sort of talk to him about his own career and where he thinks it's going?
Very simple boy, a coal miner's son, comes from Nagpur. I've been to his house recently when he played the T20. He was part of the team as well. He came in because Shami was injured, and he played a game as well. And I went to his house, had a meal. Very simple guy, has a daughter and a lovely family. But he lives mostly in Delhi these days. He spends a lot of time in Delhi because that's where his wife is from, and they've in many ways shifted base to Delhi. And overall, as a personality, he's a very affable, easygoing, fun guy. I think also, he can tonk a ball. He can hit a few 100-meter sixes, which he has shown over a period of time. What has gone wrong for him sometimes is his inaccuracy. I think at times, in certain spells, when the captain wants to kind of make sure the runs don't flow away, he has been guilty of giving away runs. at times, and that has been the downfall. Because in international cricket, when you go for runs at a certain clip, you want to be restricting it in many ways by setting fields to one side of it, whereas he has gone for runs on both sides of the wicket. He has been unlucky at times, but I would say over a period of time, I think why he has always been the third medium pacer compared to why he couldn't spear at the attack is because he didn't bring the control that was required to be the number one medium pacer.
The man behind the stumps, Rishabh Pant, showed a fair bit of control, especially with that Nurul stumping, which seemed Dhoni-esque. Now, as a keeper, DK, give us your technical analysis of that stumping. Was it just pure reflexes, or did Pant do something else to give him that kind of speed on a track like this with Axar bowling?
First of all, I think he idolizes MS Dhoni, and MS Dhoni would have been very proud of the way he did that stumping. The beauty about it is when the ball is pitched closer, it can be hard for you to react faster because you get the feeling that the batsman is going to play a shot. But where Rishabh Pant stood out is he was ready for the ball to miss the bat, and he was already bringing his hands towards the stump, and that's why it was done at such a quick speed. Generally, as a wicketkeeper, your reaction is to receive the ball. Whereas in this case, and why Dhoni was also special is they started predicting when they saw the ball that there is a chance that the ball could get beaten. They will start bringing it the other way towards the stump. And that's where you get that split second difference in third when it goes to the third umpire. And you could see it was a stumping that where the batsman was on his way back. It wasn't like he was completely outside the crease. His foot was in the air. But what made it special was his awareness that the chance of it being beaten was high, and bringing his gloves towards the stump as the ball came through made it look much faster. And actually, it was much faster. And credit to him. And that is why Rishabh Pant has idolized MS Dhoni, because he enjoys him as a personality, and also these are things that he's learned. I'm sure spending time with MS, and over a period of time, this is one such skill that keepers will need to keep developing, because with the zinc bail in place and the
Yeah.
third umpire being there, the faster you can get the stumpings done, the chances are you will get that split second difference that you would require. It's a hard skill to acquire, because when you're learning the traits of wicket keeping, they always tell you to receive a ball, because that's when you can keep your fingers soft and you allow the ball to come into the gloves. Whereas in modern day cricket, in T20, you need to find a way where you're soft, but at the same time, you are slightly quicker by trying to get the gloves towards the stump, allowing the ball to come, make its path and come to you, but you're ready for a stumping there. That is a skill that is slowly being acquired by a lot of keepers. You can see a few keepers are trying it. Credit to Rishabh Pant for having pulled this one off.
There you are. That was a masterclass in wicket keeping on these wickets from Dinesh, Karthik. So, in case you're a young kid hoping to become a wicket keeper, go to Cricbuzz and watch this video over and over again, and you might be able to do what Rishabh Pant did. Another thing on his keeping, after dropping Mushfiqur off Umesh, he didn't lose his focus. Just goes to show how much he's improved as a keeper, mentally as well as technically, as compared to how he was when he started playing Test cricket.
That's the beauty of wicket keeping. You've taken one catch which is completely reflex oriented. When Virat Kohli pops one, you take one, and the
Yeah.
next one, what happens when you keep on slow wickets is you stand far more ahead than what you would normally, because otherwise the ball will die on you. So you kind of challenge yourself, come in front. The further you come in front, the reaction times becomes lesser. And that's what happened. If you get a good ball where he's nicking away, and this was a new ball, and when you nick away, it obviously comes at speed. You just have time to put your hands, and that's what you practice for. I think Rishabh Pant would be disappointed, because these are the catches that he would want to take, because this is what he's been practicing. But what was good on him is not get ruffled by it, come back the next over, the same new ball, knowing that if it hits the seam, it will turn, new batsman in, gets that stumping done, neat and clean. So, as I said before, I think it's been overall a very good day for Rishabh Pant. But I think that catch that he dropped was something that'll, be a bittersweet moment for him, because I've seen him practice taking those catches a lot. Rishabh Pant's greatest advantage, or rather not greatest skill in wicket keeping is his hands. I think he's got great hands. Over a period of time, he's really worked on it, realized that's one of his strengths, and he's gotten better at using his hands while wicket keeping.
I'm loving this conversation, but we've got to move on. And, Dinesh Karthik spent a lot of time behind the wickets, but how about we now put him on the hotspot? We have to talk about Shakib Al Hasan's approach in this second innings. He knew that the target was far, far away, and there was no point just mucking around. But he did play a few big shots against a bowler who's bowling this consistent length, Axar Patel. That is, was it brave? Was it reckless, or did he say, "Listen, the target's too far away, so might as well play freely because there's no point hanging around"? What did you make of Shakib's approach, especially given how he got out in the first innings?
I think it's neither brave nor reckless. I think that's his game plan. Stepping out to fast bowlers. I'm sure if you're hearing some crying in the background, sorry, it's my kids just woken up from sleep. Don't mistake me. It's what happens when you have young kids around. But when it comes to Shakib, his game plan is to use his feet. He wants to use his feet, get close to the ball, and then stay deep and use the cut shot. These are his two major shots of scoring runs. So that is how he will bat, irrespective of the situation. The first innings, he stepped out, misread the line. Yes, it was on middle and leg, but he knows he could have probably just played it straight back to the bowler, but went to flick it, ended up getting caught at slip. The second time around, he's done the same thing. Stepped out. If the ball is in his play, if the ball is slightly full, go for a big shot and then stay deep. And you saw him cutting Akshar Patel and a Kuldeep Yadav. So that's how he plays. That's his game plan. It's neither brave nor reckless. That is the way he bats every time he comes out to bat. He likes to use the crease. He's a bowler as well. He thinks like a bowler and he knows what the bowler will do or react when a certain shot is played. And he bats a lot based on that. And he has been, as we say, talismanic over a period of time for Bangladesh, and the guy that Bangladesh has been, relying on over a decade now. So, in many ways, we all enjoy watching him bat. I know he's had a quiet series with the bat so far, but every time he bats well, he plays some lovely shots.
And if he didn't see so many wickets fall at the other end, who knows? We might have been talking about, oh, hang on, is a historic chase possible? Time now to fast forward with Dinesh Karthik. Right, we were expecting an early finish at the end of the second session on day 4. It isn't to be. Another day to go, 3 more sessions, 5-1-3 the target, 6 down, 4 more wickets away for India. DK, now you got to make another prediction. I know the one that you made yesterday did not go right, but tomorrow, can we expect a first session finish? And how have you seen the wear and tear on this pitch, and how do you see it behaving on day 5?
Look, I think 6 wickets is a credible effort by the Indian bowlers. They also created opportunities. Some were held on, some were not. Some LBW decisions being overturned, but we see it being umpires' calls. So overall, a decent effort by the bowlers. The pitch, as we expected, has nothing in it. With every passing day, it's getting slower, and getting wickets is becoming tougher. But having said that, just the 1 wicket is required because we know the other 3 batters are just going to come and tonk it. I will definitely put my money on finishing it before 10:30, 11 tomorrow.
Right, Shakib Al Hasan and Mehdi Hasan Miraz, the 2 batsmen who will continue the proceedings at the start of day 5, and I'm sure they won't hang around too much. They will go for the big shots, and that will create opportunity. 272 for 6. Bangladesh still 241 runs away from a big, almost improbable win. India, I believe, they are 4 wickets away, and they will clearly want to do what Dinesh Karthik has suggested. I've got a suggestion as well. Sign up for Cricbuzz Plus. That's where you can watch a lot of ad-free content, match clips from this India-Bangladesh series, as well as a few features and some fantastic interviews, lots of insightful pieces from a fantastic team of journalists that Cricbuzz promises. I have a promise as well. Dinesh Karthik will be back. Not at this time. Hopefully, surely much earlier, possibly around noon, is when we will join you again on Cricbuzz Chatter to talk about a massive, massive India win. Do join us tomorrow at 5.